Halfway through the ride, my vision started to go white. My left arm was tingling like it was asleep, and I suddenly couldn't catch my breath. I had no idea what was happening to me. When I was younger, I went to a magnet school that focused on the arts. I was in the chorus program, and we were regularly invited to Disney World to perform with other schools in the area. Every time we went, we all received a free ticket to the park to use whenever we wanted. And at the end of my 8th grade year, a few friends and I decided to go together with our free tickets. We had a lot of fun for most of the day, and we got on a bunch of rides. It was a weekday, so the park was slightly less busy than usual, and we were able to go on a Space Mountain twice in a row. After a while, we got really tired and hot, so we decided to get on a calmer ride to relax. We chose an indoor ride with air conditioning and settled in to cool off. But I quickly realized something was wrong. Halfway through the ride, my vision started to go white. My left arm was tingling like it was asleep, and I suddenly couldn't catch my breath. I told my mom, who was sitting beside me, about the issue. She told me to just try and make it through because we didn't know if there was an emergency exit from the ride. Once the ride was over, my mom and my friends helped me outside. But it wasn't long before I got dizzy and ended up collapsing on the ground. Everything after was kind of a blur, but I know the paramedics came and took me away in a wheelchair. I fell asleep at some point and I woke up in a clinic in the park. My mom and my friends were there and everyone was really worried about me. I was scared too. A paramedic came into the room and explained to me that I was dehydrated and my heart rate was extremely high. He said I had probably just overexerted myself and that I'd be okay with rest. The paramedics sent all of us home, but I didn't feel good for the rest of the night. I was constantly having to stop and catch my breath, and I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. The next morning, it got even worse. I was watching a movie in my room when I suddenly felt my heart rate go out of control. My heart was beating faster than I ever felt before, to the point of it being painful, and it wouldn't stop. My parents rushed me to the emergency room where I was quickly put on a heart monitor. The doctor said it could possibly be an arrhythmia, but they would need to do a lot of tests before they could be sure. The doctor explained to me that your heart has exactly one spot that sets the rhythm of your heartbeat. Basically, the body's inbuilt pacemaker. The pacemaker makes sure that no matter what, your heart keeps beating, but your body constantly needs to adapt to the basic speed. Whether you're active, sitting still, feeling hot or cold, or get scared and want to run away, your heart reacts faster than your thoughts. All these signals from your body to the heart influence the pacemaker, which transmits its signal to make sure all the parts of the heart contract and relax at the correct time. First the atria, the top part of the heart, then the ventricles, the bottom part, contracts. When I left, the doctor gave me a heart monitor. It was a small machine that I had to wear every day. It had wires that clipped onto my chest and my side to monitor my heart rate, and a little machine that clipped to my belt. Whenever I felt my heart go out of rhythm or when I felt weak, I had to hit a button on the machine that would record my heart rate for a few minutes. And a few times a month, I had to call my doctor and press the machine against the phone to transmit recordings of my heart. This went on for 6 months, and I was extremely scared most of the time. My heart would fall out of rhythm at random, and I would have to sit down and catch my breath a lot. I wasn't allowed to have any caffeine or sugar at all, and I wasn't allowed to run or play or do anything that could excite my pulse. During this time, I had no idea what was wrong with me. When the 6 months was over, I finally got my diagnosis. I had something called Supra-ventricular Tachycardia, or SVT for short. Supra-ventricular refers to the atria, or the top half of the heart, that in this case is not following the normal rules of heart signaling. This meant that the electrical signals in my heart was getting interrupted, causing a lot of issues and making my heart beat too fast. Normally, people only have 2 electrical nodes in their heart. I had 17 of them, some working and some not, all twisting around my heart and randomly interrupting the electrical signal. So I didn't only have 1 pacemaker, but a lot. You could say that a fast heartbeat makes your blood go around really fast, but that is only true up to a point. If the signals are so fast, there is no time for blood to even fill the heart, and so the heart becomes ineffective at doing its job, pumping blood around the body. This is what leads to you feeling dizzy or even passing out. The good thing is that passing out is also a reset for the heart. The doctor said that I would have to undergo surgery to correct the problem. I was so scared at first, but he assured me that it wouldn't be an open heart procedure. I was going to have something called a catheter ablation, where the doctors use my blood vessels as a pathway into my heart. They would put a camera in to see what they were doing and then use little tools to burn away or ablate the extra nodes causing the problem, a process called RF ablation. If there were any located too close to my heart, those would have to be frozen instead, aka cryoablation, since they needed to be sure that they didn't accidentally burn my heart. The problem with freezing though is that those nodes can potentially become active again, so I might have to undergo the surgery again in the future. Still, my doctor assured me that I was in excellent hands and that I would make it out just fine. On the day of the surgery, I sat in my hospital bed waiting nervously for the doctor to come and get me. My parents were by my side the whole time until nurses finally came to take me away. Once I was taken into the operating room, the nurses injected something into my IV and put a mask over my face. They told me to count backwards from 10, but I only made it to 9 before the room started spinning and everything went dark. When I eventually woke up, my throat hurt so bad. I remember my mom trying to give me a drink, but it just made me sick. I couldn't focus on anything, and I felt so tired. As the anesthesia wore off, nurses took me to a room to sleep through the night and recover from surgery. But I remember hearing my parents talk to me and telling me that everything was okay. The surgery had been a success. The next morning, my doctor came to see me and he had a present, a chocolate muffin with chocolate chips. It was the first sugar I had in over 7 months and it was amazing. I almost cried while I ate it. The doctor told me everything had gone perfectly and that I could even go on a roller coaster ride right then if I wanted to. The surprises didn't end there though, because when I got home, my friends were waiting for me with a giant gift basket full of chocolate too. Of course, all of this excitement could have raised my heart rate, which did worry me a little, but you can't stay quietly in your bed the rest of your life, and sometimes it can still go crazy without any provocation. If I have problems again, the doctor told me that there are medications to slow down the signals of the pacemakers to the rest of the heart that work well. But they have a lot of side effects. The other option is to cut the signal between the pacemakers and the heart with a microsurgery where the doctor makes tiny scars in the heart, which cut off the crazy, lonesome pacemakers. This way, only your original good pacemaker is in control again. The success rate of this procedure is very high and almost everyone is cured afterwards. It's been over 10 years since that surgery and I'm doing a lot better. I still have a lot of anxiety over my health because of how scary the whole thing was, but thanks to my wonderful doctors, I was taken care of and now I can look at it all as just a scary memory. If you or someone you know is struggling with SVT, just know that nowadays you have many options for treatments to allow you to live a long and happy life.